You're listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. The show that gives pastors and church leaders the clarity they need to protect their people, property, and ministry.
Welcome to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. I'm your host, Ron Wadley with Insurance for Texans. On this podcast, we help church leaders cut through the confusion of insurance so you can protect your ministry, steward your resources wisely, and focus on the mission where God has called you. Joe is the deacon in charge of facilities at a church in Midland. When a local daycare asked him recently about leasing space during the week, it seemed like an easy win for both the church and the daycare. The church's classrooms sat empty 5 days a week. The extra income would help the church with costs such as maintenance, and the daycare would have the space to serve families in the community. It seemed like a win for both sides. But as Joe started working on the lease, he had questions about insurance coverage. That's when his church's insurance agent gave him a reality check. His church's liability policy would not cover the daycare. This revelation raised some heavy questions. Would the church be liable if a child got hurt? What if the daycare caused damage? Who pays if a parent files a lawsuit? Joe suddenly realized this wasn't just about renting space. He needed a better plan to protect the church. Let's unpack the three things every Texas church needs to know if you're leasing space to a daycare or any other outside group. First, your church insurance likely does not cover the tenant. Your policy is designed to protect your church and its ministries, not another business operating inside your walls. If a child is hurt, there's an abuse allegation, or if church property is damaged, your church's liability policy will not step in to help. Your church could be pulled into a lawsuit with no safety net. Second, you must be named as an additional insured on the daycare's policy. It's not enough for them to show you a certificate of insurance. Your church has to be listed by name. That wording ensures your church can access their coverage if a claim arises. Joe added this requirement to the lease and made sure they provided updated certificates every year. A simple step, but a critical one. Third, the daycare needs the right coverage for their activities. Not all liability policies are created equal. At minimum, their coverage should include three things. Number one, abuse and molestation coverage. This is essential when children are involved. Number two, professional liability. This covers claims of negligence or improper care. And number three, property damage and tenant liability. If they damage your building, repairs aren't coming out of your church's budget. Don't assume their policy is enough. Ask questions, review limits, and confirm with their insurance company if needed. Joe worked with both a local attorney and his insurance advisor to draft a smart lease, require the right coverages, and update the church's own policy. Why? Because protecting the church's facility isn't just about bricks and mortar. It's about stewardship. Your church building is a resource entrusted to you. Using it to bless the community is wonderful, but good intentions don't erase liability. If your church is leasing space to a daycare, a nonprofit, or any outside group, don't leave coverage to chance. Work with a church insurance specialist who understands Texas churches. At Insurance for Texans, we help ministries like yours identify risks, structure leases wisely, and make sure your insurance matches your real-world needs. Visit us at insurancefortexans.com to connect with an advisor. And for a deeper dive into how insurance can bring peace instead of panic, get your copy of my book, The Promise of Certainty, at thepromiseofcertainty.com. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance. I'm Ron Wadley reminding you, protecting your church isn't just about policies. It's about safeguarding the ministry God has entrusted to you.
Thanks for listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance. Until next time, remember, insurance isn't just about policies. It's about safeguarding the mission God has called you to lead.